So the big question is this: how do small business owners like us grow our leadership, develop our teams, and scale our business in a way that allows us to get our products and services out to the world, yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Bradley Hamner, and this is the Club Capital Leadership Podcast. Welcome to The Bottom Line, a new weekly podcast series that we drop every Thursday to complement our weekly Monday podcast interviews with the industry leaders. These podcasts are going to be designed to give you short, impactful, and value-driven information that you can start using right away in your business. I value your time and attention and will do my very best not to waste it. Just get what you need and go. So with that, let's get into today's episode. Are you an agency owner looking to grow your revenue, increase your bottom line, and better manage your taxes? Club Capital is here to help. Club Capital is the largest accounting and advisory firm for insurance agents in the country, providing monthly accounting, tax strategy, and CFO services. Way more than bookkeeping and your everyday run-of-the-mill tax prep, Club Capital is focused on providing financial and tax advisory services that help you plan and forecast your agency's performance. Their financial dashboards and agency forecasting tools help you better understand your agency's historical performance, create and measure future targets, and see how your agency compares to your peers around the country. Imagine what it would be like to understand the impact to your bottom line when deciding to hire a new employee, or forecast the impact rate changes or commission rates will have on your business. With over $200 million in tracked annual revenue and $140 million in tracked annual expenses, Club Capital has the data and the team to help you make better informed decisions for your agency. They will help you turn that back office stress into the backbone of your agency's success by giving you the tools to take your agency and your leadership to the next level. Visit club.capital today to book a solution overview with one of our business consultants. Club Capital, way more than a CPA firm. Ambition is the first step towards success. It's time to level up your agency. And Coach P Consulting will help you do just that by using the same strategies he used to sell over 700 life insurance policies in 2021 alone. Now, this is not your regular one and done type coaching. You'll get personalized coaching 2 days a week, every week of the month, and you'll get a live look behind the scenes of his team training and an office that's performing at the highest level. There's a reason Coach P Consulting is the fastest growing coaching company for insurance agency owners in the country. Coach P will train your team alongside his own and show you the exact steps they're taking to achieve Chairman Circle, exotic travel, and multi-line presence club, and be one of the few agents to be selected to have a third office. So whether your goal is to be at the top of your local market or amongst the best in the country, this training will give you the strategies and the tactics to get there. For just $250 a month, you'll get high-level coaching each week from someone who is already getting it done at that level, and his strategies work, and it's time to put them to work for you. Sign up at coachpconsulting.com and get your first full month for free when you mention the Club Capital Leadership Podcast.
Hey, everyone. So I want to share with you a story. We just finished the 2-day MBA day one today. And I told this story, and I don't think I've actually shared this story on the podcast. So it's 2016, and I'm in Toronto at Strategic Coach. And so many of you are familiar with Dan Sullivan, Strategic Coach, incredible entrepreneurial coach. And so I actually got placed because I wasn't able to make the dates for the program that I was in. They put me in a different program, and it was one of the more advanced programs. And I don't say that in any bragging way. It was literally just a dates thing of dates that I could make it work. And so I go up there, and they're talking about some of the concepts that I'd heard before, but had never actually experienced. And so I'm sitting next to a guy, and I wish I could remember his name. I've actually thought about going back and trying to find the exact date and asking Strategic Coach to help me to locate this guy, because it's had such a profound impact on me. But anyway, so I'm sitting next to this guy that I've never met before, and he seems pleasant, pretty fit guy. Come to find out, he had ended up playing Major League Baseball for the Blue Jays several years prior, and he was actually a financial advisor. Now, I didn't know that at the time, and so we do this exercise that I think is called the 10X Mind Expander. Now, sidebar for a second, Dan Sullivan has recently come out with co-author Benjamin Hardy, a book called 10X is Easier Than 2X, which really has its roots in this exercise. Total ironic that I'm talking about this. But that is a fantastic book. I just recently listened to it on Audible, which is even a better experience because Dan riffs on several things. So that's a great book to listen on Audible. 10X is easier than 2X. So we're doing this exercise, and what they tell us to do is basically take our revenue and take the personal income that we have and 10X it, and then begin to tell a story about what are all the things that are true. And so we're kind of like having this 10X mind expander. So you've got 10X with, Grant Cardone says that, and then Dan, but I think Dan had it before, whatever. Anyway, so, and I think maybe even Dan calls it 10 times, but it doesn't matter. So we're doing this exercise. And so I do it, and then we get paired up. So I'm paired up with this guy that I've never met before. And so he goes first. And he says, okay, well, this past year we did 40 million in revenue, and I made personally, I made $5 million. So we would be at $400 million in top line, and I would make 50 million. And here's basically all the things that I would need to change and I would need to do to be able to make that happen. And my mouth about hit the ground. I was like, wait, you made personally $5 million last year? He was like, yeah. And, it's like 12.5% of top line revenue is how much he took home. And, X amount of that was in distributions, et cetera. I couldn't believe it. He goes, okay, well, now you go. I said, what are you talking about? I can't go now. I'm not going to show you my numbers compared to these numbers that you just laid out. And from that point forward, my life really changed. Now, it had changed prior to me even getting to that point, but that was a huge moment for me because I never actually sat next to someone and had that type of discussion with someone doing those numbers. Now, that doesn't make him a better person and all those kind of things, but my mind was forever changed. It was almost like, now that I've heard it, now that I've seen it, you can't unsee it. And that was the thing that my mind was forever expanded to. Wait a minute, well, how did you do that? Well, yes, he's a financial advisor and he has a financial advising practice, et cetera. And he kind of started to walk me through, just some of the things that they did. And I remember him showing me on his computer, I was tapping to my phone, but he was showing me some of the things on his computer about like the playbooks that they have. And I'd never seen playbooks that well put together, that organized in my entire life. Now, it wasn't just one playbook. He couldn't walk me through his entire operating system, but he began to kind of show me the things, and I started to see what was actually possible. And so the reason I say that is because when you're in the room and at the table with certain people, yes, you'll learn strategies and tactics and what do you do about this and what do you do about that? Do you have that template for a job description and all those things? And that's super important. Those assets matter. But one of the things that matters too is just the beliefs. And I started to see that this is a normal guy who was an athlete, but he had different beliefs than I did. He thought about things different. He could see moves on the chessboard that I did not even know existed. So I'm looking at the chessboard and I'm thinking, okay, well, I can move this and move this and I can move this. And he does something that I didn't even know that was out there and that was possible. And that was a big moment for me. And so that is another reason why investing in coaching or investing in, no matter what that is, but getting around other people who think bigger than you do, you may begin to see things. I didn't even know that was actually possible to do some of those. So that was a big turning point for me. And I'm sure many of you have had that experience too, to where people are thinking so much bigger than you that once you hear it and once you see it, you may not know exactly how to go about doing it, but there are skills, there are beliefs, and there are traits. There are skills that that guy had that I did not have, but I could acquire those skills. There was beliefs that he had about how to operate the business that I did not know how to adopt those beliefs until he shared those with me. And then lastly, there were traits or habits that he had that I wanted. What are the things that he's doing? I don't mean shouting affirmations in the morning and telling yourself you can do it and all those kind of things and 4-hour morning routines and 2-hour shutdown routines. I mean, whatever. but there were certain habits he did have in place as being the business owner. And all of those things were things that I could learn, I could adopt, et cetera. And so then it became my mission. Okay, well, how do I do that actually? And so even though that was a one-day discussion for a couple hours and we ended up having some other exchanges, et cetera, and I've lost touch with him since then, I'll never forget that moment in my entire career. So hope this served you to be able to think bigger. What are the skills, beliefs, and traits that you can adopt that actually help you to be able to grow and scale your business? All right, everyone. Until next episode, lead well.